And guys, as you all know that every Thursday we started a new segment called Talk Time with Attorney. Since couple of weeks we spoke about immigration process for family members and पिछले हफ्ते हमने बात किया था divorce law के ऊपर. So this week again we have attorney Pooja Mehta from the law firm of Dalal and Mehta. And Mehta Pooja ji practices in the areas of American immigration law, New Jersey family law. आज फिर से हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं to discuss something about new topic every week. She's going to talk about some things which we really don't know. छोटे मोटी गलतियां कर लेते हैं हम लोग. So today she's going to talk about form I-864 of support. So to be one of the most confusing immigration forms, I would say. It's little like combining your financials of a tax return with the complexity of an immigration time. And the sponsor does not qualify. That's USICS, right? Will not issue the intending immigration permit like green card वगैरह. तो उसके बारे में बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं पूजा मेहता जी. Good morning, Pooja. How are you?
Good morning, Kushi. How's everything going this morning?
Rocking. Thursday morning.
Thursday morning, almost Friday, almost the weekend. Yeah. And as I was saying off the air, I really wish I could just bottle you up and take you everywhere because your enthusiasm and your energy is astounding.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you so much. Yes.
As you had mentioned, we are going to talk today about the I-864. Initially, when we started this series, we had discussed about, what is that sponsor letter? कि application के साथ sponsor letter attach करना है या joint sponsor चाहिए. So what does that really mean? The sponsor letter is, like I mentioned before, it's not a letter, it's a form. It's a form I-864. It's available on the USCIS website. USCIS is the federal immigration department that is responsible for green cards and everything else related to immigration. So the I-864 requires the petitioner, which is the person that is in America, asking for a loved one to come to America, petitioning for a beneficiary. Mm-hmm. The beneficiary is the intending immigrant, the person in India or not in America, shall we say. Mm-hmm. And the petitioner has to essentially provide to the federal government that they are able to financially take care of this person. Because obviously, जब हम अब इंडिया से आते हैं, ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत पैसा तो होता है, लेकिन कितना होता है? इतना तो नहीं है ना कि you're going to be able to get an apartment, food, mm-hmm. put your kids in school, everything. Do everything, mm-hmm. right? Rome was not built in a day. Exactly. Apartment भी New Jersey में एक दिन में नहीं मिलती. So naturally the government wants to make sure that there's someone here who's going to take care of this person. And that is really what the I-864 does. Mm-hmm. And it creates a liability between the petitioner and the beneficiary that, कल को अगर ये कोई debts आ जाती है इनके सिर पे and he has no financial assets. So how is that going to be taken care of? Well, the I-864 says that this is basically a contract. And it's a contract between the federal government, the petitioner, and the beneficiary, that the petitioner is on the hook. Okay. And they are responsible for any financial responsibilities to make sure not only the beneficiary is taken care of, but might become liable for the debts of the beneficiary as well. So usually it's not that big of an issue. People are very responsible and never put anyone in that situation. Nonetheless, that is a possibility that you can become responsible for somebody else. Now, what type of paperwork is involved?
That was my next.
That was your next question.
And guys, in case if you have any questions right now, Pooja ji is right here at the studios. अगर आपको कुछ भी लगा, you have to ask something right now. So you can always reach us out right now at 732-297-9886. या नहीं तो आप उनको जरूर कॉल कर सकते हो शो के बाद at 732-287-7400 है उनका phone number. So what kind of paperwork is needed from the sponsor?
So unfortunately, people are very hesitant to give this paperwork, but we do need almost 3 years of your tax records. We need your pay stubs. We need employment letters. If you have your own business, and my firm usually requires a letter from your accountant confirming, the financial makeup of the business. We need 5 years of. Oh, okay, sure.
Good morning, you're live on your EBC radio. Hi. Good morning. Yes. Go ahead with your question, please. Your name?
Good morning, Ashish. So I'm so glad you brought that up, Ashish. We are going to be discussing EB5s. We won't be discussing it next week, but if you tune in 2 weeks from now, because the way that it rotates is 1 week we do immigration law, 1 week we do family law. But I would be happy to speak to you off the air and we can get into the EB5 visa visitor application process. We handle all of those. We actually work with an ex-USCIS officer who reviewed EB5 applications for almost 10 years for the government. So we're pretty confident in our work and what we can provide to the population. So why don't please give us a call back and I'd be happy to speak to you.
732.
Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Yeah, you can Ashish, you can reach out to Pooja ji at 732-283-7400. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you for calling in. So just to quickly go back, we were talking about paperwork. We need tax documents. We need your what were we saying? Employment letters, accounting letters. So we need all of that to show that this person actually has a certain income that meets the guidelines, meaning the requirement that the U.S. government has set. And when a joint sponsor comes into the picture is when a petitioner does not have enough income to support whatever the guideline the government requires, then the government doesn't decline your petition, but they will require a joint sponsor to come and get added on. Joint sponsor can be anyone. It doesn't have to be someone directly related. It can be a friend as well. And they have to prove the same things with the same paperwork. So it is quite intrusive. The joint sponsor, everyone's very friendly, but that doesn't mean that they want to give you your tax documents.
Exactly. So what are the liabilities of a person sponsoring?
So go ahead.
Guys, in case if you have any questions on this, you can reach out to Pooja Mehta ji right now, 732-297-9886.
Thank you. So the liabilities, as we discussed, once you do file the I-864, the petitioner and the joint sponsor are in a contract with the beneficiary that if they have any liabilities floating around once they come to the country, the petitioner can be on the hook. Now, a lot of people come to me and say, we've brought my wife over and it hasn't worked out and now we're getting divorced. And I always like to remind them that divorce is not a termination of the I-864. So what does that mean? That means that in the state of New Jersey, there's actually established case law that has stated that if the spouse that you are divorcing, the immigrant, is not working, you are required to maintain them at a certain financial level. There's a whole bunch of laws and calculation that goes into it, so I'm not going to go into it right now. However, anyone who is divorcing and has filed an I-864 needs to understand that they might have a agreement for no alimony, meaning not having to pay their spouse any spousal support after the divorce is completed. However, the I-864, which is a contract between the two people and the federal government, will trump that.
Okay.
So even if you don't have an agreement for alimony, but let's say something happens in the future and some debt comes up or whatnot, there is a possibility, small, but there is a possibility that unfortunately you could become on the hook for your ex-spouse's financial woes. So again, it is extremely important that you go and see an attorney, and if not our firm, someone who's very experienced with immigration and family law, so that way you, the divorcing partner who is the American green card holder or the American citizen, is protected in the future from any issues that might come up.
Which is very important. People, as I said last time also, I did mention it to you, they go online, just take the wrong information, which delay the process, and
Absolutely.
you might take a wrong steps in that, right? So
Absolutely.
I would say definitely you need a professional help like you. As you mentioned, it could be anybody.
Exactly.
You definitely need a help from professional. And guys, in case if you want to reach out to Pooja Mehta ji right after the show, number is 732-283-7400 है उनका phone number. Hello, you're live on air. Good morning. Hello. Anyways, guys, in case if you have any questions, you can, if you don't want to go on air and discuss about your issues, you can definitely reach out to her after the show. 732-283-7400 है उनका phone number.
Thank you so much, Kushi. Always a pleasure.
Same
and
here.
thank you for the callers who called in. We apologize for the last call that dropped. But please, like Kushi mentioned, do reach out to us. Email us law@thelalmehta.com. Our Facebook page is there. Just Google us. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere that you can imagine. And it was, again, Kushi,
Thank
great
you.
pleasure.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to seeing you
Next
and the EBC audience next week.
Same here, Pooja. Thank you so much, and you're really getting amazing topics.
Thank you so
Really,
much.
thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care.
Thank you. Guys, as I mentioned, that was Pooja Mehta ji, 732-283-7400. Pooja Mehta from Dalal and Mehta Law Firm, and she'll be back again here next week. बिल्कुल आपने सही सुना है. She'll be back again here next week every Thursday. Boss, lock your time 8 बजे with Dalal Mehta ji. दलाल मेहता जी नहीं यार, पूजा मेहता जी. खुशी थ्रोबैक थर्सडे ऐसे हो जाती हूँ, राइट? हो जाता है यार. मैं कॉफी पी कर आती हूँ, चीनी कम बिल्कुल नहीं.